Good morning, students. Welcome back, class 10, again in the SST class. I hope you all have seen the previous gone videos very carefully, and I hope you have well understood that lesson also. So let's continue. We have covered so far three topics from the lesson Political Parties from your civics book, lesson number 6. The topics we covered yet is why do we need political parties? How many parties should we have? And the third one is national parties and state parties. Let's take a quick look on those topics. First we will revise those topics, then we will move forward to the next two remaining topics. Political parties are one of the most visible institutions in a democracy. They reflect fundamental political divisions in a society. We are just discussing the important points that we have to remember in this lesson. Parties contest elections, put forward different policies and programs, play a decisive role in making laws for a country, form and run government. Those parties that lose in the elections play the role of opposition to the parties in power. Parties shape public opinion, access people to government machinery and welfare schemes implemented by governments. Political parties are necessary in modern democracy, as without it, every candidate in the election will be independent and no one will be able to make any promises to the people about any major policy changes. The rise of political parties is directly linked to the emergence of representative democracies. Parties are a necessary condition for a democracy. It is very important in the democratic country that that country must have the political parties. Election Commission of India had recognized more than 750 parties in India. Just imagine, in such a vast country, we have 750 parties. One party system is ruled in China. We have already learned that. There is one party system in China. The Communist Party is allowed to rule. Two-party system prevails in the USA and the UK, where two main parties have a serious chance of winning majority of seats to form government. And in India has a multi-party system where the government is formed by various parties coming together in a coalition. It has a multi-party system because of the social and geographical diversity in such a large country is not easily absorbed by two or even three parties. Every party in the country has to register with the Election Commission. Every political party has to register itself to the Election Commission. A party that secures at least 6% of the total votes in an election to the Legislative Assembly of a state and wins at least 6 seats is recognized as state party. Now there are two parties, state party and the national party. And a party that secures at least 6% of the total votes in the Lok Sabha elections or assembly elections in 4 states and wins at least 4 seats in the Lok Sabha is recognized as national party. 6 national recognized parties in our country in 2006, that is INC, BJP, BSP, CPIM, CPI and NCP. We have discussed this in our last video. National parties are compelled to form alliances with state parties. State political parties like Samajwadi Party, Samta Party, Rashtriya Janata Dal have national level political organization with units in several states. Some of these parties like Biju Janata Dal, Sikkim Democratic Front and Mizo National Front are conscious about their state identity. Over the last 3 decades, the strength of state parties has expanded. No national party is able to secure on its own a majority in the Lok Sabha. As a result, national parties are compelled to form alliances with state parties. But recently, in the 2014 Lok Sabha election, BJP won with a majority and was able to form its own government without forming alliance with other political parties. This is a great victory of BJP. Popular dissatisfaction and criticism has focused on 4 problem areas in the working of political areas. These are the few more important points that we have to remember. We discussed the 3 topics earlier in I think 3 sessions. We have done 3 sessions before. So in those 3 sessions we covered 3 topics, and today we will cover topic number 4 and topic number 5. Topic number 4 is challenges to the political parties, and topic 5 is how can parties be reformed. So let's discuss challenges to political parties. Now, lack of internal democracy. The lack of internal democracy within parties manifests in the following. First, parties do not keep membership registers. These are the challenges to political parties, that parties do not keep membership registers. Parties do not hold organizational meetings. Parties do not conduct internal elections regularly. Ordinary members do not have sufficient information about the party. All powers get centralized among the top leaders. These are some challenges that political parties today face, and they have to they need to face and overcome all these challenges to remain effective instrument of the democracy. Dynastic succession. Dynastic succession means dynastic succession is a feature common to most of the political parties, both at the national and state level, where top positions in the party become hereditary. Other members cannot even aspire to reach these positions. Hereditary means after father, his son will become the leader, and after his son, his grandson will become the leader. So it is a dynastic succession. Next is growing role of money and muscle. The role of money and muscle is on the rise in almost all the parties. Those with money and muscle power begin to control the various organs of the party. These all are the challenges to the political parties. Now, our next topic is how can parties be reformed? How we can overcome these problems and to become our political party strong, and how we can reform those. They can be reformed by maintaining a regular register of its members. We can reform by the strengthen the political. We can strengthen the political parties by the amendment to prevention defection, maintaining a regular register of its members, making rules and regulations, holding elections for higher posts in the party. Let's see. Holding elections means it should not be at the hereditary basis. Elections should be there to hold a high post, giving more tickets to the women, and giving funds to parties for elections. So these are the some points that we can say that by adopting all these measures we can reform the political parties. So this is all we studied in the chapter political parties, lesson 6 of our book Civics, and with this we come to the end of the lesson, and in the next video I will discuss the question answers, internal and textual questions topic wise. For example, we have covered 5 topics in this chapter, so we will discuss the question answers topic wise, not the whole chapter once. In one video we will discuss topic number 1 and 2, in second video we will discuss the question answers of topic 3 and 4, and after that we will discuss the topic 5. So I hope you all have understood this lesson, and I suggest you all to watch the videos again and again. If you have any problem, you can call me anytime, and please prepare your notebooks on time and prepare your notes, and if you need any help from my side, you can call me anytime. I'll always there to help you out. Thank you class, thank you students.